Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta make another video here because this is very, 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 very important. The way things are running right now. What I wanna say this is that the Bible clearly prophesies in the last days that there's coming a one world government, a one world currency, a one world monetary system, a one world regulator, a one world food regulator. It's all coming together, people, exactly as the Bible stated. Now, this should show anybody that the Bible is indeed God's Word. Prophecy is foretelling the future before it happens. As God said in Isaiah chapter 46 from 9 to 10, "For I am God, and there is none like me. For I am God, and there is none like me." Declaring the end from the beginning. God declared all this from the beginning, way before it happened. So, in Daniel chapter 2, where Daniel was in Babylon, his people were in slavery. They were being punished for their sins by God in Babylon for 70 years. Was it 70? I think 70 years. Yeah, because Daniel was reading the prophet from Jeremiah. See, Daniel took the prophecies literally. People should learn from Daniel. Daniel was reading the prophets of Jeremiah, the prophecies that God gave to Jeremiah, that his people would serve in Babylon for 70 years, and there was about, I forget how much time was left. So he's reading it. They only have a few years left in Babylon, but Daniel remained his whole life in Babylon. But as he was there, God used them in miraculous ways. He interpreted dreams and so on and so on. And many people got saved. King Nebuchadnezzar got saved. It took a sickness to bring him to his senses, where he lived like a wild animal for 7 years because of his pride. So, this King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream by God. Okay, God gave it to him. So he called in his magicians, astrologers, soothsayers, his wise men. He said, "Tell me what I dreamed, but not just what I dreamed, but also the interpretation of it." He said, "King, no one has ever asked us such a thing. You tell us what you dreamed, and we'll tell you what it means." He's like, "No, if you can't tell it to me, I'm going to kill you." They're like, "King, no one has ever asked us such a thing. Nobody would know, except the spirits of the gods," or I forget how they said something. But so they're about to be put to death until they realized there was a Jewish lad there, Daniel, who was devoted to his God Yahweh. So Daniel came before the king. He asked the king for prayer, and he went and prayed, and God revealed it to him. He said, "King Nebuchadnezzar, while you were sleeping on your bed, you saw a great image. His appearance was awesome. You saw a head of gold, two chest sides of arms, belly and thighs of brass, and long length of iron, and 10 toes on the image of the beast, on the image of the statue, I mean. Now I will interpret it for you. You, King Nebuchadnezzar, are the head of gold, Babylon. The two chest sides of arms are the Medes and the Persians. The belly and thighs of brass is Greece. The long length of iron is Rome, and on the 10 toes is the final world government that will be in place. Because if you go to verse 28, it says, "But there is a God in heaven who reveals secrets, and he has made known to King Nebuchadnezzar what will be in the latter days, your dream." And Daniel said, "It is certain and is for sure to happen." You can read that in verse 46. Then King Nebuchadnezzar, verse 45. "As much as you saw, the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, that it broke in pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great God has made known to the king what will come to pass after this. The dream is certain, and the interpretation is sure." But you see what it says about the stone that fell out? That is Jesus Christ. He's going to come back. See that? Let me read that again. "As much as you saw, the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands, and that it broke in pieces the iron, the bronze, the clay, and the silver, and the gold." I like that. You see, when Jesus comes back, he's not going to destroy the head of gold, Babylon. He's not going to destroy the two chest sides of arms, the Medes and the Persians. He's not going to destroy the belly and thighs of brass, Greece. He's not going to destroy the length on the legs, Rome. He's going to destroy the 10 toes, which is the revived Roman Empire. But this is literally amazing right here. But after you shall rise another kingdom inferior to yours, which is referring to the Medes and the Persians. Then a third kingdom of bronze, which shall rule over all the earth. We know Alexander, he conquered the main world. And the fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron. The fourth kingdom shall be as strong as iron, as much as iron breaks in pieces and shatters everything, and like iron that crushes. Look at this. That kingdom will break in pieces and crush all others. And we know that the Roman Empire just broke in pieces. It did not fall from an outside attack. It was not attacked from an outside attack. It just fell on its own from within. That's exactly what the Bible said. Now, this is significant. If you go to Daniel chapter 7, where it talks about the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom on the earth. Now, how in the world did Daniel know that there would be no other world domination that would rule the whole world? How do you know there would be no 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th empire? The only way he would have known is if God revealed it to him. That's exactly. No other empire has ever taken over the Roman Empire that ruled the whole entire world. But yet, the Bible clearly states that's coming again. A one world government. Because if you go to Revelation chapter 17, is it verse 9 or 10? So there are 7 kings. 5 have fallen, 1 is, and 1 is yet to come. Now these are the 5 that have fallen. Egypt, Assyria, Babylon, Medo-Persia, and Greece. Now the one that was, when John wrote the book of Revelation, was Rome. And the one that is yet to come is the final world government. Now, this is what I want to get into, people. Because this is coming very, 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 very fast. I want to discuss Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. Revelation 13, verse 7 says, "And authority was given him over every tribe and tongue and nation." So look at that. And authority was given him over every tribe, which is all the tribes of the earth, and tongue, which means all the languages of the world, and nation, and all the nations. That is a global body speaking for itself from Scripture. And then verse 8 is talking about a one world religion. All who dwell on the earth will worship him. Will worship. All will worship. You won't have a choice. If you don't worship him, you'll be put to death. This is what the Bible clearly indicates that it's coming, people. And I got to let you guys know because closing time is upon us. So the Bible clearly teaches that there's coming a one world government. Right from there, it says a single leader. Like even in Revelation chapter 17 right here. The 10 horns which you saw are 10 kings who have received no kingdom as yet. But they receive authority for 1 hour as kings with the beast. These are of one mind, and they will give their power and authority to the beast. They will give their power. There's going to come 10 kings over the European Union. Now, I want to get into this because we have lots to cover here, people. And my prayer is that you will email these videos to your family because this is coming real fast. This is coming. People need to be aware. They need to be informed of what's coming. Now, so we just saw that the Bible clearly indicates that there's coming a one world government. This whole world will be under a single leader. So, and we actually see the fulfillments of those taking place right now. They've been at this since the very beginning. The international bankers have been working on a world government for years. Now, I'm going to read these names. Many of these people are popular for their agenda to bring in a new world order, a one world government. This guy here is David Rockefeller. This is what he says here. "We are grateful to the Washington Post, New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications whose directors have attended our meetings and respected their promises of direction for almost 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plans for the world if we had been subjected to the bright light of publicity during those years, but the work is now much more sophisticated and prepared to march a towards a one world government. Okay, that was David Rockefeller. Okay, there's countless documents, people. This is what's happening. This is for real. This is what people need to realize. This is not a joke. This is reality. And yet the Bible exactly prophesied this as well. The Bible prophesied this would happen. So here it is, 1913. The League of Nations was formed. That's 1913. The League of Nations was formed. 1919. The Council on Foreign Relations was formed. 1922. The CFR, which is the Council on Foreign Relations, endorses world government. 1945. The United Nations was formed. 1948. The World Constitution is drafted, providing a World Council to enforce. You see that? To enforce. They're going to force this. To enforce world law. World law. Not just America, but the whole world. World law. That speaks for itself. World law. And calls upon nations to surrender their arms to a world government. 1959. The diagram of world government under the Constitution for the Federation of Earth. So they're going to make this whole world under a single constitution. This is to protect the world, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to make it all sound like a good thing, but it's not. It's all their power grid to get control over people. And then Richard Nixon, 1967, calls for a new world order. 1968, Nelson Rockefeller pledges support of a new world order. Okay, and this is President, okay, yeah, the Vatican, okay, right. 2008, the Vatican says that a new world order is gaining ground. Okay, this speech here, what I'm about to read you, is from President Bush Senior. No, President Bush Jr. Senior, his dad, the father, who made his famous speech in 1991, a new world order of the big idea. Well, this is what he said here. Listen to this. Then this lawlessness will threaten the peace and democracy of the merging new world order we now see. This long dreamed, so they've been at this for a long time, long dreamed, they've been dreaming this up in their head. Long dreamed a vision we all, speaking of the globalists, the internationalists, the bankers, you name it, we all worked toward for so long. Wow. And here's a quote from Gorbachev, the communist of Russia. Him and Bush were radical about this new world order, talking about it. They were so radical that they made a statue of Bush. I forget if it's in Texas, or I think it's in Texas somewhere, I'm not sure. But they have a statue of Bush. Right on the statue says New World Order. So this is what Gorbachev said right here. Further global progress is now possible only through a quest for universal consent in the movement toward a new world order. Okay. Oh yeah, that too. Listen to this guy here, Robert Mueller. Robert Mueller. We must move as quickly as possible to a one world government, one world religion, under a one world leader. Wow. The Antichrist. Revelation chapter 13. Under a one world leader. And look at this thing about Al Gore, this hoax about global warming, which is totally a lie. He's making big bucks off of it. Like there's so many scientists that are trying to contact the media, but the media is turning them away. They won't interview them. They won't even let them talk because they know it's a hoax. It's part of their agenda. They're working through fear and manipulation to put fear on the people. The only way that we can protect the world and bring world unity and world peace is if we set up a one world government, a one world religion, and so on. Listen to what Al Gore had to say about this. Okay, Al Gore. The climate bill. See how they changed the word? Because they know it's not true. It's no longer global warming. It's a climate change. So Al Gore. The climate bill will help bring global governance. Huh. We've been duped. We've been duped, people. There's no such thing as global warming. And this is Gordon Brown as well, right on the back of the newspaper. This was March 12th, 2007. New World Order to save Earth. You see what they're doing? Okay, I got more stuff to show you. I got more stuff to read to you guys here. Okay? Let me see if it's in this one. Yeah. Gordon Brown, former Prime Minister of England. The international financial crisis has given world leaders a unique opportunity to create a truly global society. Yeah. Create a crisis and you can offer the solution. That's what these guys are doing. And yet they're fulfilling Bible prophecy exactly as the Bible stated in the last days there would be a one world government. Now here's more. Like, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I could have got more. There was no end to this countless documents. Even James Warburg, 1950, February 7th. We shall have world government, whether you like it or not, but the question is either by consent or by conquest, which means we're going to have it whether you like it or not. And there's another part of the Council on Foreign Relations that said, we're going to have a world government even if we have to pay for it in blood. And Tony Blair is calling for NATO to become the army of the New World Order. This is what's going on, people. People need to realize this is what's taking place. Okay? So, let me read this to you guys here. Yeah, this is Timothy Geithner. Timothy Geithner, former president of the Federal Reserve. We need a new global monetary authority. A de facto global financial dictatorship operating across borders and forcing nations and corporations to register. They're going to force you into this. And add on here to start monitoring and regulations. Listen to this. This is incredible. I didn't even know there was an organization. But you guys can check this all up. The Single Global Currency Association. Now that's a company that's working on this, people. The Single Global Currency Association is calling for the world, not America, not Australia, not Canada, the whole entire world. They're working on a world government. Okay, the Single Global Currency Association is calling for the world to embrace a single global currency to be managed by a global central bank within a global monetary union. Global monetary. Look at that. It's just incredible. Totally incredible, people. This is what's taking place. This is what's happening. But I want to read you another guy. This was back in the 1800s, man. I don't even think these people even knew the Bible. It's crazy. It's literally amazing. Knowing what the Bible says, and you see all this stuff coming to pass right before your eyes. Yeah, listen to this. This is back in this is a different one. I'm going to read you the other one after. But this was back in 1992. The guy that was with Bill Clinton, he wrote the Declaration of the Birth of a Global Nation. This is what he said. In the next century, which is now, in the next century, nations, as we know it, will be absolute. All states will recognize a single global authority. National sovereignty wasn't such a great idea after all. Wasn't such a great idea after all. These people, you know. And here's another guy. This was back in, yeah, listen to this. This was from 1889, 1800s. 1889 to, what year would it go to? Well, anyways, this is what it says. The stage is rapidly being set for world to accept global leadership. Famed British historian Arnold something, 1889, yeah, to 1975, was correct when he said, the nations are ready to give the kingdoms of the world to any one man who will offer us a solution to our world's problems. That solution is we must all come together, like Obama says. We can no longer afford to be divided. We must tie global citizenship together. It's the one way. It's the only way. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice. Nations that are weak and nations that are strong must cooperate with one another. We cannot face such challenges alone. We need to give them a state and the type of new world order that we would all would like to see. Coming from Obama, listen, we have to give them a state and the type of new world order that we would all would like to see. Who's we? Who's we? It's the internationalists. He's been set up by Henry Kissinger to bring it in. He's another guy. It's another story with him. It's incredible. And David Rockefeller, too, in 1994 or 1995, at the United Nations, we are on the verge of a global transformation. All that we need now is a major crisis, and the nations will accept the new world order. Henry Kissinger, they were interviewing him at Wall Street, I think it was. What do you think Obama's tactic will be? Being elected at this time, he said, well, at this time, we have many upheavals in the world. You have the jihadist movement, what's going on in Pakistan, India, and so on and so on. But he said, it's not just a crisis, but it's a unique opportunity. He will develop a strategy for America, where really a new world order can be created. But we just saw before, they've been at that from the very beginning. Obama's just ushering it in, man. That's all that he's doing. He's ushering it in. So, Obama is ushering in the new world order. Like, even Henry Kissinger about this thing about NAFTA, about the North American Union, where Canada, U.S., and Mexico emerge into one super country, where we share the same currency. Sorry, guys. Where they share the same currency, which is the Amero, but that's not their end game. They're just uniting each country step by step into one. They're converging all the nations to come in one, because their end game is the world government. Even here in Canada, where I live, guys, right here in Canada, one of the guys said, well, we need to all come together with global powers. Maybe you're going to have to give up a bit of sovereignty for a bit of security. That is a lie. Benjamin Franklin said, whoever would trade liberty for security deserves neither. And even my Prime Minister here, like I told Canadians before, and I say it again, it's no longer called a Canadian economy. It's a global economy. I know many people, they don't like the idea because the way there was the national sovereignty, but it's a simple reality. And he spoke at the G20 summit, my Prime Minister, Stephen Harper. He said, we're going to have to work global. We're going to have to work globally. And yet the Bilderbergs were meeting back in 2009, 2008, or 2009, or was it 2010, in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, adopting to a new world order. This is what's going on, people. People need to realize that this is for real. This is what's taking place. Now, this is what I want to say about this part here. Look at this part. In Revelation chapter 13, from 16 to 18, he causes all, not some, not a little, not a few, but all. That's global. That's the whole world. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him who has understanding calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. His number is 666. So, for them to do that, there has to be a global currency. You have to have one individual in control of the money. And yet, what did we just read here? What did we just read? Yeah, right here. Look at this. The Single Global Currency Association is calling for the world to embrace a single global currency to be managed by a global central bank within a global monetary union. Everything's on the ball right now. Everything is on the ball, people. Everything is coming in place. But I want to get into this before I close. What was the other thing called? Yeah. Going cashless. You see, it didn't say a new form of credit card or money. It says a mark. And yet the FDA, hold on. And they said by 2017 they want to have everybody microchipped. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's just what I heard. By 2017 they want to have everybody in the world microchipped. But biometrics is coming, people, okay? We've been in databases for years, okay? We are in databases, ChoicePoint, Axion, all these places. Now the biometric databases are here. They're not coming, they're here, okay? Just hold on. I want to explain this to you guys. Because people need to do not submit to these things, because this is total enslavement. That's all that it is enslavement, people, okay? This is enslavement. Yeah, 2002, listen to this, 2002. FDA approves a microchip implant for humans. And then 2004, you have the Verichip Corporation coming in. You have Digital Angel. You have alien technology with these RFID chips, making it sound like a good thing. The guy at the Baja Beach Club, VIPs that go in there with a special chip in them. And the guy's like, this is the future. This is the new form of surveillance. This is what's coming, people. They're bringing it. This is what's coming. This is what's taking place. This is what people need to realize. But I want to read another thing. 2013, this came out. A new bushel stamp tattoo is developed that attaches to the wearer's skin and will allow them to replace all passwords and all other forms of identification. Now, this is nuts, man. This is crazy. So the biometrics is coming, people. Now, they already have us in databases. No question about us. No question about it. They have us in databases. But now, they're bringing in biometric database. They want our features, our characteristics. They want us. Because they want a surveillance society. And yet, the Bible clearly said that this is going to be enforced. Do not hand over your biometrics no matter what happens to you guys, okay? Biometrics is 3 measurements of the body. They're going to take your hand and your palm. They're going to analyze it on a machine. And you're going to put these things on your eyes like binoculars. It takes a picture of your eyes. And then they take a digital photograph of your face. And it's already happening, people. People are going willingly into biometrics because nobody is preaching on the book of Revelation anymore. While they're getting all this stuff prepared, getting all this stuff ready, prophecy is downclining, okay? But I'm not stopping. I'm telling you guys about this. So they said, your only way for you to buy stuff will be linked in with your hand. Ah, where did we hear that before? Or your face. Biometrics. This is what's happening. They want everybody on the world to have a biometric national ID card. Will be linked in with your biometrics, and without it, you will not be able to get a job. You will not be able to open a bank account. You will not be able to attend a sports event or anything, not even on the internet. And this was slipped into the immigration bill by President Obama. And guess who else is going into a biometric database? Because the FBI said the next generation's identification is biometrics. They did a $1 billion something project on this, bringing in biometrics. But the United States is going into a biometric database. That's probably by 2017 or whatever. I know they said by 2014 in the summer, every working American is going to have to hand over their biometrics. I don't know if it's accurate though. But they said Japan's going into a biometric database. Africa's going into a biometric database. Europe's going into a biometric database. Israel's already gone into it. Can't you see that it's going global? And now the United Nations is saying that they want every single person that lives on the face of the planet to be identified with a biometric national ID card. Why? Because they want total control, people. Cash is being eliminated. They're getting rid of cash. Everything is going away bit by bit. And that's exactly what the Bible prophesied over 2,000 years ago. And this other guy, this is incredible. But before I get into that, I want to share this about the G20 summit. A couple of years ago, they said, what did you come up with at your last meetings? They said, well, we don't plan to get rid of America's currency overnight. But yes, it's about time that we step towards a global currency. And the reason for this is to solve economic problems in America and worldwide. And then another guy was saying on the news, I think it's about time that we dismantle our currency as we know it and we step towards a global currency. So we are much closer to this than most people realize. Then I know an evangelist that was preaching like how the Bible says when the Antichrist reigned that this world will be cashless. He was going on explaining like how most of us are already cashless because most people just use cards, credit cards, debit cards. Barely anybody uses cash anymore. So they're going away, getting that system out of here. So after his message was done, this guy came up and said, I want to tell you, but he didn't mention the name of the company, but he worked for a credit card company, but he wouldn't mention what the name of it. So I want you to know that everything that you said is exactly what we are planning. It would make our businesses more convenient and more easier for us if we just get rid of cash. And it's crazy. They're trying to say the reason for H1N1 is because the cash is dirty. We need to get rid of cash and all this stuff. This is what's happening, people. Yeah. And this is the other thing that the G20 Summit said, that they are calling for, in the not too distant future, a one world monetary leader. A one person that's in control of all the money. Look at that. He causes all, small and great, rich and poor. That's exactly what it is, the Antichrist. Financial dictatorship, controlling the finances of the world. Exactly what they wanted. Like the Rothschild said, we don't care who changes the laws. As long as we control the currency, we control the money. If we control the money, we control the food. If we control the food, we control the people. But this is what I want to close with. This guy, Paul Henry Spock, he was in the beginning with the common market in Europe, the Europe marketing. This is what he said. We do not want another committee. We have too many already. What we want is a man of significant stature who is able to hold the allegiance of all people. The allegiance of all people, that's universal. Who is able to hold the allegiance of all people, to pull us out of this economic morass in which we are sinking, and send us such a man, and be he God or the devil, we will receive him. Wow. I'm signing off, people. Just be ready. Brothers and sisters in Christ, we're living in exciting times, and just be ready. Jesus Christ is coming to get us. I just want to leave this video behind for people. Do not hand over your biometrics. But my prayer is that this will happen after the rapture. But the way things are running right now, everything's accelerating so fast right now. But this is all I got to say. I'm signing off, and God bless you all. Just keep your eyes on Jesus. He's coming to get us very soon, brothers and sisters, and God bless.